Well, hello there, people. Welcome in, welcome in. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day today. I am having a fabulous day, if I can say so myself. Let me see if I can turn that special effects down in the background. I don't want it to come across too damn loud. But anyway, I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. If you guys are looking at my thumbnail, yes, the WNBA girlies are girling. Okay, these heifers are girling. So we're gonna go ahead on in and get to it because we ain't come here to play. And let me tell y'all something: the girls are not playing with Travis Kelsey's ex, Kayla Nicole. Child, this lady done deactivated her ex account after racist, homophobic posts resurfaced. So y'all know that the Taylor Swift fans appear to have uncovered some posts from Kayla Nicole, and she deleted her ex account in response. So this just came out regarding all that old crazy drama that was going on. But let me tell y'all what happened. So now Kelsey's ex, Kayla Nicole, she deleted her account after some of the Swifties dug up some of her past posts. Now the posts, which dated back to 2010, included both racist and homophobic language. The unearthed posts have escalated the feud between Nicole and Swiftie fans, child. Now on Halloween, Nicole, as you guys know, dressed as Tony Braxton and shared a video of herself lip singing to Braxton's song, He Wasn't Man Enough. Y'all know the words. Y'all know the words. Now, Nicole claimed the costume choice was inspired by a childhood friend named Taylor. Okay? She said, in quote, I had a white best friend. Her name was Taylor. And she had, the only house I could go over to as a kid because my mom didn't play them type of games. I specifically remember driving home from private school in my uniform in the back of a paddy wagon with Taylor, and her mom was playing this song. Still, many of Swift fans believe, I would have believed it too, right? That this was a dig at the popular pop star and her new fiance. Many thought the costume choice came after Swift appeared to take a shot at Nicole in her song. The alleged tweet resurfaced shortly after. Screenshots of the alleged tweets included both racist and homophobic language about different groups of people. Aimed the backlash. Nicole deactivated her account. I think that's kind of a real um, childish way to go about it. Like, stand on your stuff. Like, if you said it, say it with your chest. And then it was like 2010. It was like 15 years ago. People do change. People do elevate. So them bringing that up, excuse me, I drunk some damn ginger ale, and it got me with the burps, child. But people are just outrageous. Like, okay, so Taylor Swift can make a comment towards this child, but she make a comment in her own way, and not all child. You know what? You damned if you do, you damned if you don't. If she didn't say nothing or never came back, now she a pawn. She do say something, now they digging up 15 years ago tweets. Now, I don't have anything that I hope that wouldn't have offended anybody from 15 years. What was I doing 15? I was living life. You know what? I was not on the internet 15 years ago. I kid you not. I was not on the internet. Nope. I had a life, child. I was doing other stuff. I was traveling, moving around, doing stuff, but on the internet was not one of the gigs that I was chosen for. Now, I don't know if y'all heard about this, but B.O.B, the rapper, is accused of holding a woman hostage and sexually assaulting her. Now, this is fresh off the news. Now, a Texas mother of two has filed a lawsuit against the rapper B.O.B, accusing him of holding her against her will and SAing her after his April 2025 performance in San Diego. Now, according to court documents, the woman, referred to as Jane, says she traveled from Texas to attend the rapper set at the Tequila and Tacos Festival at the Del Mar Fairgrounds. Now the concert was shortly after being diagnosed with cancer in Oh, she was diagnosed with cancer in 2016. She says she leaned on B.O.B.'s music to stay hopeful throughout the treatment, especially songs from his 2010 album, The Adventures of Bobby Ray. Now, after the show, the suit claims that B.O.B.'s manager invited Jane and her cousin to an after party at the West End Hotel in downtown San Diego. If you're from downtown San Diego, pass by the West End Hotel and ask them what the hell going on. Now, when her cousin briefly stepped out to get a jacket, Jane says she was left alone with the rapper who allegedly began groping her and grabbing her by the neck. Ooh, child. Now, the complaint further alleges that when B.O.B.'s wife entered the room, he yelled for her to leave and then continued the assault until a knock at the door interrupted him. Jane says she fled the lobby where she reunited with her cousin. Wait a minute, did I read that right when it said the wife entered and he told the wife to leave out? The lawsuit also accuses B.O.B.'s management team of failing to protect her, claiming they were aware of his intentions to gain sexual favors. B.O.B., best known for his hits like Airplanes and Nothing on You, has not made a public response to the allegations. The case filed in California seeks unspecific damages for assault and emotional distress. What the hell is going on with these people grabbing on folks? Why is people grabbing and touching on people? I mean, allegedly. But the fact that his wife, you know what? Why does it seem like we always keep hearing about these handmaiden tales in reality, where these women are sitting by and they know what these men are doing, and they just going along with it? Like, is it that much to where you would not want? You know, I would rather be poor and peaceful than to be rich and miserable. You get what I'm saying? And people like, oh, would you rather a black eye and money or no black eye? Give me the peace and serenity of it all. You get what I'm saying? Like it's different types of poor. You have poor in Sudan, you got poor in Congo, you got poor in America, you got poor in South America. It's different types of poor. You get what I mean? You got poor where you fighting every day versus poor. Let me tell you, I met some poor people over there in St. Croix. Those were the happiest bums I ever met in my life. Happy. And they call themselves bums. Cause it's like we just bums. We just chill, we don't do nothing. We just bum off of people. That's how they live off of the land. So don't windmill with me, windmill with them, because that's what they call themselves. But the point of it all is people gotta stop putting so much emphasis on sex. It's not that damn serious. Is it that serious? Is it? Is it? I'm asking. Is it that serious? Because it seems it's like if you want. I think when people get into their mind with like, you know what? I don't want to have anybody touch me unless I love them. Like I feel something for them. Not just lust, but love. You take it to a different level. Because see this stuff we got going on right now, if you just sit back, a lot of things that go on in the world is really behind lust. Absolute lust. And speaking of lust, y'all remember when that fool ASAP what really he went and wanted to sue Rocky and Rocky ended up, beating those charges and it came out that he was like hating because he was mad that Rocky was with Rihanna because he really wanted to be with Rihanna, child. Everybody want to be with Rihanna, but he was just mad and he really was like hate right there. You get what I'm saying? It's a thin line between love and hate. Now, after years of that legal back and forth, ASAP Riley has decided to step away from his fight with ASAP Rocky. Now, the former ASAP mob member who once called Rocky a close friend is dropping his civil assault lawsuit and focusing on rebuilding his life, according to a statement shared with Billboard. Now, Relli, whose real name is not really that important, filed the lawsuit in 2022 over an alleged 2021 shooting incident involving Rocky. The case was set to go to trial in January, but his attorney confirmed this week that Relli is walking away from the claim. Um, Basically, he said at this point he's ready to simply move on from the shooting. The ordeal has been a nightmare for him. And the statements calling him a liar and worse effectively eliminating his chances of a career in the industry. So, yeah. Now, according to Morris, his team will file the paperwork to dismiss a lawsuit later this week. Rel isn't ending all legal action against Rocky, though. He's still pursuing a separate defamation case against both the rapper and his lawyer, um, accusing them of damaging his reputation by calling his original allegations extortion and a get rich quick scheme. He's going to litigate the defamation action because of the damages it caused. But as to the shooting, he's thankful he wasn't hurt worse and is focusing on rebuilding his life. Child, I guess anything for the dollar. Yeah, I don't honestly, I really don't even care about all that because you don't be, you don't sue your friend. Well, I don't know, do you? I've never sued a friend before. I've never thought about it either. I don't have friends that I would want to sue. And why would you want to sue your friend? Like we've never went into business together or anything. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, speaking of I don't know, Offset is haunted by fame. You know his mixtape flop. You didn't know that? You didn't know because you wasn't listening to it. Yeah, yeah. That's exactly why. This is new. So as of today, Offset's new project, Haunted by Fame, hasn't taken and it has taken an unexpected turn in his career. For the first time, one of his solo albums didn't even make it on the Billboard 200, job. The album sold just under 8,000 units during its first 8,000 units during the first week of the release, a steep decline from Kiara, his previous record that arrived less than 2 months earlier and debuted with 29,000 units. Hold on now. How he putting out a mixtape and he still got an album to promote? Is that how they do these days? Is it? Huh? Eh? Hmm. Because I'm asking. Because I thought, like for instance, like Lemonade, fuck them, forget Lemonade, Rihanna, Anti. She ain't done put out an album in what, 10, 12 years? That album has just been wrote. I still listen to Anti. And when I get off of here, I'm gonna tell Alexa to go and slap it on. So you get what I'm saying? I didn't even know that I knew he had just put out that album like two couple months ago, but I didn't even know he stopped promoting the album and he already moved on to the mixtape. Like what was the boppers on the album? Anybody can tell me? Somebody? Don't nobody know? Name 5 Offset songs with a gun to your head right now. Okay. Anyway, so like I said, so the album only sold under 8,000 units in the first week. Now, across 11 tracks, Hunted by Fame brings in features from No Cap, Youngboy NBA, and Lil Dump. Hmm. You know what? He was at the YoungBoy NBA concert, and I did hear something about he had a song with YoungBoy NBA, but I just assumed, well, I ain't even assumed, he just had an album out. So somebody say you got an album out in August, and then I hear that you got Beyonce on a song. It's just gonna go together, right? Oh, yeah, right. Okay. Now, the most streamed song so far is "I Heard," a collaboration with YoungBoy that has drawn more than 900,000 plays on Spotify. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I heard about the whole YoungBoy song, but I thought it was with the other song, with the album. So anyway, so despite the modest numbers, the release wasn't set up for a major commercial run. Offset quietly dropped the project with no singles, a marketing campaign, with no singles, a marketing campaign or advice notice to the, fans. He then hopped on social media to seemingly address the low sales, mixtapes to get out of my deal, LOL, he wrote. Is that what we doing? We telling people what the plot is? What the hell wrong with people these days? Remember back in the day, people would do stuff and they'll be real low key with it because they ain't want, the right hand to know what the left hand was doing because you don't be knowing. You know what I mean? Nowadays, these fools just get out here and just tell you everything. So I plan on moving because all this here and then I ain't gonna pay this back and I'm gonna hit the bank and I'm gonna steal this and you might well just, child. Speaking of child, Mike Tyson, Mike Tyson, Mike Tyson isn't ruling out one more huge moment in the ring, and this time his focus is on Floyd Mayweather. Child. Now the two boxing greats have sparked speculation that they might finally square off, and Tyson sounds ready for it. In a recent chat with Hard Rock Bet, Tyson said the idea for the potential match actually came from Mayweather. He said in quote, Floyd wanted to fight me. I think I've got a decent reputation with him. I don't hate him. No harsh feelings. Tyson 59 said the match would be a monumental moment for the sport. It's capable of superseding all my fights. This is taking boxing to a new level. And when it comes to predicting the outcome, Tyson didn't hold back in his confidence. It looks like he's going to get knocked out. The heavyweight icon believes the timing could work out soon. He suggests that the proposed fight might happen sometime around March or April, if it was to happen. Now, Mayweather, 48, added fuel to the buzz back in September when he told Fight Hype, "We getting ready." When final details are still being sorted out, Tyson appears eager to make it. So Tyson looked like he's ready to make it happen. His most recent fight was against Jake Paul last year, which ended in a loss. But Tyson said that experience only made him sharper and more self-aware. Plus, yeah, come on now, we all know how that was. We know that that was fixed allegedly. Tyson went on to say, "I learned a lot from my last fight. I left a lot of my fight in the gym. I worked too hard. I was too intense. I was too extreme. I need to relax more. That's what I always believe. I need to relax more." I still don't believe it. I think that it was a setup. I think it was a scheme set up by Ty, and any any fights that anyone do with that guy, it's all a scam. Now, y'all know people are talking about Diddy and all that he got going on because it just seemed like even in prison, this man just keep breaking the rules. So in the days and weeks leading up to his trial, you didn't hear much about Diddy prison behavior. From the sound of it, he was more or less unproblematic while he spent a year inside the walls of the Metropolitan Detention Center down in Brooklyn, right? Now, since his conviction, Diddy has moved to the the FCI Fort Dix, and things have changed quickly. Despite only arriving at the facility and being there for a few weeks, Diddy has already had a couple dust ups. So far, he's broken at least two rules and has been far from a model inmate. Okay, now let's see exactly what happened. Now, one of Diddy's main reasons for requesting to transfer to Fort Dix was that he could take part in their rehabilitation program. The former music mogul was laid much of the blame of his behavior on his drugs and alcohol use. He also seemingly, you know, was being proud of himself for being sober, and his legal team was referencing his dedication to sobriety and several things and all this other stuff during his trial, right? But according to reports, he didn't last long without a slip up. Last week, reports surfaced that prison officials was considering moving Diddy to a different cell block after he was caught enjoying some contraband. Apparently, he was caught drinking toilet water with the other inmates. Now, Dix did not comment on the current inmates or their behavior. However, Diddy's representative did speak out. So the representative came out and said, hey, um, there aren't any reports. Those are all false. It never happened, Tide. It never happened. Them people. I should have went to law school. Cause sometimes it's okay to lie, especially when you get paid a lot of money just to lie. I mean, it ain't good to lie. Let me not say that. I mean, it ain't good to lie, but if your job is lying, then don't you want to be good at your job? Now, according to the outlet, inmates may only speak to one person at a time and can only call individuals who are on their approved call list. The addition of a third, wait a minute, did I skip something? Oh, okay, okay, okay. So they talked about the toilet water. Okay. Now the record producer apparently encountered trouble while making a phone call, you know. So According to CBS News, Diddy placed an unauthorized three-way call on November 3rd, shortly after arriving at Fort Dix. The call allegedly involved members of his legal team is considered a breach of prison security. Now, according to the outlet, inmates may only speak to one person at a time and can only call individuals who are on their approved call list. The addition of a third individual on the call is considered a security breach and against the rules that Diddy was made aware of upon arriving at Fort Dix. Now, according to CBS News, child, Diddy could face consequences for his actions. Now, I wonder how they know that it was a third person on the call. Because everybody done had somebody that they don't went to, that they know went to jail. And they might call and they might jost for 'em, if you're a female or whatever. You might jost for the dude or whatever the case may be. I ain't got time, but whatever. Now, Diddy, like I said, Diddy could face consequences for his actions, right? Because, now they saying the punishment could include loss of phone privileges and restrictions across restricted access to the prison's commissary for a period of time. Now, it is unclear what, if any, punishment they gonna hand down to him. To be honest, do y'all really think they're gonna give him a punishment? Because they're trying to make it seem like he's a model citizen and a man in there drinking toilet water and calling 1-800 sex lines, allegedly. Now, Diddy has only been at Fort Dix since October 30th. He will serve out the remainder of his 50-month sentence at the low security facility, provided he manages to obey their rules. Before moving to Dix, of course, y'all know he was housed down in Brooklyn, the only federal lockup in New York City. Conditions inside that facility have been heavily criticized, and it is considered one of the most dangerous federal prisons in the system. Now, if they know all this, why the hell they not doing something to make that a better place? It's amazing how people could tell you how horrible something is, but ain't nobody trying to make it better. And you sending people in there. This supposed to be a place where you go to get better, and we can't win for losing, child. We can't win for losing. So next, I want to talk about. I know y'all wonder who is that naked girl that's on y'all on your thumbnail, and I'm gonna tell you who the naked girl is, cause y'all see it flashing on through here, child. That's a WNBA star. Hmm. Now, all the celebrities who called out Sydney Sweeney after her controversial interview, right? Now, in a recent interview, Sweeney finally addressed the controversy surrounding her ad for the American Eagle jeans. Her response disappointed many people, including her peers. A number of celebrities have criticized her for avoiding the question on white supremacy. Now, wait a minute now. I'm going to have to see this. Now, in an interview with GQ, Sweeney spoke about her American Eagle denim ad. The campaign ran the slogan, Sydney Sweetie has great jeans, playing on the the homophones jeans and jeans. A number of social media users felt that the joking about the jeans on a blonde haired, blue eyed white woman was in poor taste, aimed at backlash. Many conservative commentaries embraced, Sweeney. Now, let me see if this audio will work and we can actually hear what this here lady's saying before we pass too much damn judgment. So let's see here. Hold on.
About her American
action definitely was a surprise.
Sydney Sweeney isn't staying zipped about her American Eagle jeans ad controversy any longer. The actress broke her silence on the uproar over the polarizing campaign, telling GQ in the mag's November cover story that despite the heated debate, she was and remains unbothered.
I did a jean ad. I mean, the reaction definitely was a surprise, but it was, I love jeans. All I wear are jeans. I'm literally in jeans and a t-shirt like every day of my life.
When asked about the topic triggering a response from even the White House, Sydney noted that it was, quote, surreal, but had no bearing on her day-to-day life, as she was on set for Euphoria up to 16 hours a day and didn't have her phone most of the time.
I wasn't thinking of it like that, or like of any of it. I kind of just put my phone away. I was filming every day. I work and then I go home and I go to sleep. So I didn't really see a lot of it.
She lying. You know you seen that child.
The campaign had sparked debate over the summer over its use of the phrase great genes in reference to Sydney having great genes or genetics, a tagline which some believe promoted white supremacy while others considered it a harmless pun. Ultimately, the Christie star said she felt no need to issue a statement at the peak of the backlash and still doesn't find it necessary to weigh in on the finer points.
I think that when I have an issue that I want to speak about, people will hear.
Back in August, the brand shared an Instagram post declaring that the campaign is and always was about the jeans, adding, "We'll continue to celebrate how everyone wears their AE jeans with confidence their way. Great jeans look good on everyone."
Okay. Well, y'all heard what them people said. Great jeans look great on anyone. Okay. Now, I got a couple. Now, these last two topics I'm about to go over, y'all gonna really enjoy. Now, well, let me start here because I wanna say this first. So now, Auntie Wendy, child. Now, Auntie Wendy Williams was cleared of her dementia diagnosis in a new test. Mm-hmm. A new test reveals contradicting diagnosis used to justify her restrictive conservatorship and pave the way for legal action. Child. Now, a new significant development in the Wendy Williams ongoing legal battle has emerged as a top neurologist concluded that the talk show host does not have frontal temporal dementia, the medical condition that has served as a foundation for her highly restrictive guardianship for more than 3 years. The finding directly contradicts the diagnosis cited by her guardian to maintain the current conservativeship arrangement and potentially open the door for major changes in her legal status. According to sources with direct knowledge to the situation, Wendy's recent complete comprehensive neurological testing in New York City, the battle of assessment resulted in the conclusion that challenges the medical basis for her current guardianship arrangement. The neurologist conducted the test proved that Williams' legal team, with the result in late October, marked the pivotal moment for the broadcaster's long fight for her independence from restrictive conservatorship control. Now, the new neurological assessment contradicts an earlier diagnosis when Wendy's tested positive for frontotemporal dementia, according to representatives of her guardian. The dementia represents a progressive neurological condition that occurred, according to medical experts, consistently deteriorates over time and never improves. The diagnosis has been used to clinically justify maintaining the strenuous guardianship that has controlled a majority of aspects of Wendy's life and decision making authority. Yet Williams' medically trajectory since achieving sobriety approximately 3 years ago has demonstrated what her legal team described as remarkable neurological resistance. Rather than following the expected decline pattern associated with dementia, this type of dementia, Williams has shown stability and apparent improvement in cognitive functioning during the period she remained under conservatorship control. The disconnect between the projected disease progression and the actual medical outcomes raise questions about the accuracy of the original diagnosis to begin with, right? Okay. Now, Williams' legal representation, led by powerhouse attorney Joe Tripinapi, plans. Oh, that was the same dude that represented Rocky in his case. Plans to file court documents within the next 2 weeks. And look, y'all know I'm gonna be paying attention, right? Y'all know I'm gonna keep y'all up to date. Initiating a formal legal proceedings to challenge the guardianship arrangement. These filings will set the stage for a judicial hearing where Wendy's legal team will present the new neurological evidence and formulate and formally requests that the judge terminate the guardianship entirely. Now, Wendy's lawyer has indicated his preparedness for potential judicial restriction resistance to ending the conservatorship. Should the judge decline to term now listen, now y'all remember how they were saying that the judge was getting paid off of this, allegedly. That the judge was getting a kickback, the law like it was a whole scheme. And this wasn't even set up by Todd. This was set up by Thomas. But it was a whole scheme set up by Thomas where they have this conservatorship scheme where they put people in it and then they drain them till they gone, till the money gone, and then they discard them because they have other lawsuits or other people who were saying they were trying to either get their family out of it or they were trying to get out of it. But because it's all, it's all a scheme, it's hard when the judge, the lawyer, everybody in cahoots. You get what I'm saying? You wondering who can you run to? No escape. Needless to say, that's why he was saying that, he is ready to fight even if he, the lawyer, right? So the demand for so the whole thing is that he want to do a demand for a jury trial so that he can represent, he feels like if he represent with the facts in front of a jury trial, that the citizens will vote to free Wendy from her guardianship restraints or her constraints that have limited her autonomy and her personal agency, right? Because as of now, the judge is on the crooked lady's side, her guardian. Now, Wendy has spent more than 3 years navigating the highly restrictive guardianship system, a period that has substantially limited her personal freedoms and personal making authority. The conservatorship arrangements have prevented her from controlling specific aspects of her own life, finances, and medical decisions. Throughout the period, the dementia diagnosis remained the primary medical justification for maintaining the restrictive legal structure. Now, Wendy's sobriety achieved and maintained throughout the guardianship period represents a major life accomplishment independent of the conservatorship control. Wendy's ability to maintain her recovery while facing the stress and limitations of the guardianship demonstrates personal restraint and commitment that observers say contradicts the need for the current level of legal restriction. Mhm. That a new neurological evidence has fundamentally altered the landscape surrounding Wendy's legal situation. Previously, judges could point to the medical diagnosis as justification for maintaining the conservatorship. Now, with the new assessment contradicting that diagnosis, the medical foundation supporting the guardianship has been undermined. This shift creates pressure on the judge to either explain why the guardianship should continue despite negative dementia test results, or to agree with Williams' legal team that the change circumstances warranted termination. Now, Wendy's lawyer willingness to pursue jury trial proceeds if necessary signals that Williams' legal team views this moment as genuinely pivotal. Now, the attorney appears confident that the combination of the new medical evidence, Wendy's demonstration of her sobriety and her apparent neurological stability creates compelling case for the end of the conservatorship. You know what? I would really be happy if she can get out of that. And her husband, well, her ex-husband don't try to bring his greedy ass back around trying to get some money. Cause y'all know that man been having his hand out since. I'm talking about ain't got a pot to piss or a window to throw it out of. Okay. So the coming weeks will prove decisive in determining, whether Wendy successfully escapes the guardianship that has constrained her life for over the last 3 years, with the new neurological evidence now supporting her position and her demonstrating, her stability and, like I said, the sobriety provided additional substance, right? Now, Wendy enters this new phase of legal proceedings with what her team perceives as monumental in her favor. How the judge responds to the new medical evidence in the form of termination request will determine whether Wendy finally regains full legal autonomy or whether the court battle continues through a jury trial. Now we will now if she got to go to a jury trial, we already know what it is. The judge don't want to let that money go because at some point you just got to let it go. It's kind of like that whole split the baby in half or give the baby to one person, and you could determine you I'm not you can't determine, but if it get to that point with somebody and they're like, well, just split it in half. I'd rather split it in half than you know then yeah, you can go ahead on and go. You get what I'm saying? Because sometimes you gotta know when to hold them, and you gotta know when to fold them, and sometimes you just gotta know when it ain't right, and sometimes it just ain't right. And you know what else ain't right? I didn't even know if I wanted to talk about this, but I got to. So y'all know that they got this author, and in this new book, it's about Tupac. Clutch your pearls, ladies, clutch your pearls, and the girls. But the lady is sparking major backlash from fans, right? Like, why are you tarnishing this man's name? But see, I don't know, so I got to step back because I wasn't there. There's a new book about the life and legacy of Tupac Shakur, and it's stirring major controversy across hip hop community. Sports writer and biographer Jeffrey Perlman, best known for his best-selling sports biographies, has released a new title called "Only God Can Judge Me," which chronicles Tupac's rise, his autism, and the turbulent years that shaped his short but powerful career. Because when you forget that Tupac died like what 24, 25, he was young. I think right. He was. Yeah, I don't think he was like 27, right? Now, during a recent appearance on the EDI Means podcast, Perlman claimed he reviewed old police files and interviews that, according to him, revealed new information about Tupac's personal life. Those remarks quickly sparked a wave of backlash, with fans accusing the author of using unverified claims to gain attention and profit off Tupac's name. As of now, no evidence supporting the author's statements has been publicly released, and critics argue that such allegations unfairly target an artist who can no longer defend himself. Social media lit up immediately, child, after the interview with Tupac trending for hours as people pushed back against the narrative. Many called the book exploitative, which others said the timing felt disrespectful to Tupac's enduring influence and his family's privacy. Perlman stated that he had seen and reviewed police reports from other women alleging that Tupac and members of his entourage assaulted them separately from the widely known 1994 case, right? Now, in his book, Perlman reportedly details an interview with a woman who claimed that Tupac and several men gave her a ride home and later took advantage of her. However, no public evidence has of these allegations ever existed, nor have they ever been corroborated or in any other any other police report. Now, Tupac, who remains one of the most celebrated and influential figures in global music, continues to inspire generations nearly 30 years after his death. Fans online noted that his story should focus on his creativity, his message, and his activism, not unsubstantiated claims. They argue that these new headlines risk overshadowing his collaborations, his contributions to the culture, politics, and music. You always gonna have a hate on Ram. Now, even some readers who initially expressed interest in Perlman's project have voiced their disappointment, saying the recent interview have shifted attention from Tupac's legacy to unnecessary conversation. The uproar has ignited a broader conversation about how, you know, when you're telling someone's death or telling their life after they have died, how you treat these people. You get what I'm saying? Especially black artists. Many in the hip hop community say that sensationalism too often replaces balanced reporting when it comes to telling the stories of cultural legends. Now, historians and fans alike are urging writers and documentarians to focus on valid research, interviews with credible sources, and fair portrayal that represent the artist's legacy, right? Now, for decades, Tupac's voice through songs like Dear Mama, Changes, and Keep Your Head Up have represented the truth, struggle, and self empowerment. Supporters say that energy deserves to be preserved, not diluted by speculation. On social media, one commentator, what did he say? He stirred up the sentiment shared by thousands of fans, and he wrote, "Tupac spoke for the voiceless. The least we can do is protect his name when he can't speak for himself." Cause it's ridiculous. You ain't got nothing else to do, sir. You ain't got no proof. You just saying, "Well, this is what somebody had said," sir. Now, child, before I let y'all get up out of here, how long I done had y'all here? Oh, child, it ain't been but about 10 minutes, child. It ain't been but 10 minutes. I'm about to let y'all go. But the WNBA star, Goo Risky, makes history as Playboy's 2023 Miss June. I'm not changing. I'm evolving. Child, this lady done got up and did her thing. Now, the former NBA player is turning heads and making history as the first black professional athlete to ever grace the pages of Playboy. The 26-year-old basketball star who once suited up for the Chicago Star recently unveiled her photos from her Playboy feature, proudly announcing her title as Playboy's 2025 Miss June. Child. Y'all see her go across that screen? In an Instagram post that quickly went viral, she shared stunning shots from her photo shoot, writing, Playboy's Miss 2025. Proud to be the first black professional athlete in history to ever grace the Playboy magazine in this year's centerfold. Okay. Her announcement sent shockwaves through through the sports and the fashion world, with fans and fellow athletes praising her for embracing confidence, empowerment, and self-expression in her own terms. Playboy also celebrated the milestone on social media, calling Kysre the first current female professional basketball player to also take on the Playmate title. Child, she doing her thing. Now, in an interview with Playboy, she reflected on what this moment meant for her, and not as a departure from her athletic career, but as an expansion of who she is as a woman, an athlete, and a brand. So she said, in quote, "What people label as a transition, I embody as evolution. I'm not stepping outside of who I am. I'm building a multidimensional brand." The message struck a chord with fans, many of whom applauded her for defying expectations and redefining what it means to be both an athlete and a businesswoman in today's world. Now, even as she steps into a new arena, she made it clear hasn't left basketball behind. She said, in quote, "Becoming a WNBA player and getting to that level, you put in a lot of work to get there. You have to put in even more work to stay there." While she's currently a free agent, she continues to train and compete. Last month, she announced that she'll be joining the Athletes Unlimited Pro Basketball League in 2026. It's an opportunity she described as both humbling and thrilling. I'm so glad and excited all at the same time to get an opportunity to not only do what I love, but compete amongst the best women to become better in pursuit of my dream, she said in a statement. Now, her Playboy spread represents more than just a bold career move, right? It's like a cultural moment. As both a professional athlete and now as a playmate, she joined a short list of women who successfully crossed from sports to high fashion modeling. Now, fans across social media have been celebrating the achievement. One person wrote, "She's doing it all, beauty, brains, and she got game." Somebody else said, "This is what empowerment looks like in 2025." Now, for her, this is just the beginning. Whether she's shooting jump shots or doing magazine covers, she's proven that women, especially black women in sports, can write their own stories. As she told Playboy, This isn't me changing, it's me evolving. Now, in judging from the reaction, the world is ready to watch the evolve unfold. Because, child, when I tell you, I say, oh, wait a minute now. Because I don't even, you get what I'm saying? Like, I ain't got nothing against the girls that like the girls, to get down with the girls. But I was like, wait up, do I like girls now? You know how when you got to start really thinking, you got to start, you know, I'm saying, wait a minute. Kind of confused at this moment in time. Should, am I right? Is she wrong? What we doing? But anyway, I really do want to thank you guys for clicking on the video and things of that nature. You know what I just realized? I just realized that you guys have been on the thumbnail the whole time and not the video. Like I realized that my the thing wasn't on, but I didn't even give a damn. I was already 10 minutes into it. But I did not realize that you guys didn't see the thumbnail. So let me let you guys take a look at the thumbnail real quick, because the thumbnail was the bomb. Go ahead. This is the young lady, the NBA lady, the WNBA lady. Isn't she cute? And then, we talked about Diddy and his whole, he's over there for dicks cutting up. And there go Mrs. Great Jeans, who she's just going along with the ride. You know what I'm saying? And there go Grandpa one and Grandpa two. Look at Floyd. I thought that was his daddy at first, but no, that's really Floyd. And they go B.O.B, the rapper being accused of assaulting a lady. hmm Why would people go home with somebody they don't know? That's one of her pictures from her spread. Doesn't she look good? Oh, I forgot to talk about. Matter of fact, hold on, child. Let me go back to that. Cause I did want to talk about that one, sweetie. Cause I saw that. I mean, you know how you be seeing stuff online and you just like, I know damn well. And so yeah. So there's this TikTok star. And she is y'all got give me about 2 more minutes. Two more minutes. Now it's a TikTok star. And she was ordered to pay $1.75 million after her steamy affair with with a married manager. Listen to what I'm telling y'all. Just in case you're not aware, let me tell you what happened. Now, a North Carolina jury has awarded social media influencer Brianna Kindred to pay $1.7 million after finding her responsible for breaking up a Durham couple's marriage. Now, Brianne, is it Brianne? Brina? We just gonna call it KB. So, with BK. So, BK, who boasts nearly 3 million followers on TikTok and another 274,000 on Instagram, was accused of seducing her manager, Tim Montague, and having an affair that ultimately ended his marriage to Akira Montague. Child, if that ain't scandalous. Now, the civil suit filed in Durham County Court claimed that BK actions caused emotional devastation and the breakup of the Montague's family. In quote, she has received justice from losing her husband and the father of her children, the attorney for Akira Montague said after the trial. Now, the jury found BK liable for criminal conversations and alienation of affection. The two old fashioned but still enforceable legal claims in North Carolina. Now, one of the few states that allows a spouse to sue someone for interfering in a marriage. Mm, okay, now listen, this is what she had to say.
And it was nothing but lies.
Renee Montague, who represented herself in court, slammed the verdict, saying Akira Montague knew her marriage was over and allowed the affair.
She gave her consent. She said it was okay because she knew her marriage was over with and it was done.
But the jury didn't agree, awarding Kayla Montague the $1.75 million after more than 700 pieces of evidence were presented.
You know what? Some people just need to let it go. Now, according to court documents, Akira and Tim, they married in October of 2018. Akira alleged that BK's affair with Tim caused her mental anguish, health problems, and robbed her children of a two-parent home. After the verdict, BK claimed the Kysre had already accepted that her marriage was over, long before the affair began. Like I said, she said that, the girl gave her permission. Child, you got to be a lonely, desperate, sad, tacky woman to go up and try to. You get what I'm saying? Like, how they say, have some kind of decency about yourself, have some kind of self respect about, like the old folks say, have some kind of shame about yourself. But you know what though? A hoe gonna be a hoe, and it don't even matter. A hoe gonna be a hoe. But like I said, please like, share, and subscribe. And I really do appreciate you guys working with me. Y'all know this is a one woman show. It's technical difficulties, but I am trying my best. But please like, share, and subscribe. And I'll talk to y'all tomorrow, perhaps, maybe. Consistency is key.
Oh, I know.